You have 15 minutes, Senator.
All right, thanks very much. Are we going to get Mr Wilkins back, or should we just start with you, Senator Brandis? I'm going to traverse a couple of areas that might move into the area of responsibility of ASIO and possibly even the Department of Defence, but I'll just... Yeah, I recognise that, Senator Brandis. Thanks heaps. Just recognising it's possibly a bit of a cross-portfolio issue, but I'll be fine if you constrain yourself to your area of responsibility. It's relating to a US drone strike that killed 2 Australian citizens, or 1 Australian citizen and 1 dual citizen, late last year in Yemen, on the 19th of November, I think. Senator Brandis, when did you hear of that strike?
I can't comment on those matters, Senator, you know that.
Why is that?
Because I can't, you know that.
What, you're just refusing to?
Well, I'm not at liberty to.
Why?
Because under the conventions and practices of the Parliament, if you don't know that, Senator, you should, and now you do.
Did you have any role in informing the families subsequent to that strike that killed 2 Australian citizens?
Me personally, no.
Or the department?
Don't think so.
Mr Wilkins?
I'm sorry, Senator,
Did
what
the
was
department have any role in informing the families of 2 Australians killed in a drone strike?
Apparently it was police and consular officials, Senator, not this department.
It was police and consular officials. Are you aware whether the families were sworn to secrecy on being told of those strikes?
No.
No.
I'm not aware.
The Attorney General's Department or you, Minister, have any visibility at all of these matters?
I don't quite know what you mean by the term visibility in that context.
Do you share any responsibility? I presume if I take this up with ASIO, they have a role. Department of Defence presumably has a role.
I don't know. We don't comment on these matters, Senator.
Just because you don't feel like it?
No, because, as I pointed out to you, these are national security matters and we don't report to parliamentary committees in this parliamentary committee in open session in relation to that. If you remember the Joint Parliamentary Committee on Intelligence and Security, then they look at these at national security matters with more particularity in camera than this committee can do for obvious reasons.
Okay. Staying away from that particular operation then, what's the Australian government's understanding of the legality under international law of these strikes against various people in various parts of the world?
The breadth of your question makes it impossible of an answer because there are different circumstances in each case, I assume.
Okay. So when I'm
if I may finish my answer, please,
sure.
Senator Ludlam. Nevertheless, I'm not aware that the Australian government has a view of legality of these matters in any event.
Are you comfortable that they're legal under international law, given that 2 Australian citizens were blown away in one of these strikes?
Well, I'm not commenting on the matter, Senator.
I'm presuming if the Chinese government had assassinated 2 Australian citizens, you'd have a view. You'd be putting that out there.
You can assume that, but I'm not expressing any views, Senator, nor would it be appropriate.
That's fascinating. Does the Australian government have any evidence that these 2 men were in fact terrorists?
I refer you to my earlier answer, Senator.
Wow. Is the Australian government aware of how many civilians have been killed in these drone strikes in various parts of the world?
I don't think so.
Not interested?
This has nothing to do with Australia, Senator.
Are you aware of whether the Pine Gap base in Central Australia plays a central role in the targeting of these strikes?
No, and if I were, I wouldn't be commenting on the matter.
No, but that would be something to do with Australia, wouldn't it?
Well, I'm not aware, and if I were aware, I wouldn't be commenting on it.
Okay. I guess it's better just to not be interested in it at all.
Well, it's probably better to not to ask questions that you know can't be answered in this forum.
You could choose to answer these questions.
No, I couldn't choose to answer these questions in this forum, Senator. And if you don't understand that, you don't understand a pretty important principle that governs the operation of this particular committee.
No, I think I understand it pretty well. I can take these questions up with Defence, but did you or did your department take this matter up at all with your counterparts in the US after it came to your attention that Australians
I
were
would
involved?
not be disclosing to you or Senator what matters I discuss with my counterparts in the
Okay.
United States.
If Australian civilians were involved who weren't accused or suspected of being involved in any terrorism-related activities, would the Australian government's position be any different?
Well, it's a hypothetical question, Senator.
But I hope it stays that way. I'm getting nothing, Chair, so I'll leave it there.
Thanks, Senator Ludlam. And the next one on my list